Mexico is falling apart just 1 week before the opening of the World Cup.
Only 8 days remain until the World Cup, but Mexico City is worse than ever. The subway is unfinished. The stadium-bound light rail has issues. The Tlalpan floating causeway isn't complete, and yesterday the airport pedestrian bridge roof collapsed. The government says it spent more than 23 billion pesos to prepare the city, but does anyone see that money anywhere? Honestly, people in the capital are already tired of governments that waste everyone's tax money on useless, poorly done, or even non-existent projects.
That's right. Look, this is Mexico City. Everything is flooded. Let's see.
We're here at the intersection of Zola and Tlalpan, and what we're seeing is that only RTP or Metrobus vehicles can get through here.
Okay, the buses or Metrobus, whatever you call them.
Because of this huge puddle caused by the midnight rain.
Incredible, but that's not all, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg because it turns out that a pedestrian bridge structure collapsed at the airport in Mexico City just a few days before the World Cup. Look at this. Look at this structure that collapsed, and I think it fell on top of a car. Just look at that. We're still seeing more images. Look at this. What a shame. This can't be happening. The airport is literally silent, falling apart. Look, even the ambulance and everything. Unbelievable. Some people were saying that someone had died or something like that, so you can get an idea that this is a disaster. Just look at this. Oh my god.
Dangerous, and apparently there were only injured people. Unbelievable.
People keep saying they are injured. Unbelievable. Look, here you can see the collapse. Unbelievable. No, what a shame. In fact, here they're telling us about the collapse of part of the ICM structure. Mexico City's airport set off FIFA's alarms, and it's no wonder. Meanwhile, the United States and Canada have reported that they are ready to welcome the millions of visitors who will enjoy the World Cup. Mexico still hasn't finished the renovations and preparations to guarantee the safety of the fans. The collapse of the ceiling of the pedestrian bridge at Terminal 1 of Benito Juarez International Airport in Mexico City. It's not a minor situation since just a few days ago it was revealed that they spent more than 6.5 billion pesos on its maintenance. Wow. The news went viral internationally, and although several media outlets have exaggerated it, it's impossible to avoid concern among visitors who will arrive in the coming days to enjoy the World Cup festivities. What a disaster, and what a shame, guys. And I'm telling you this because honestly, I want you to see the following fact. It's important. The authorities, they always say that the match between Mexico and South Africa will generate more than 1.1 billion live viewers. It would become the most watched opening event in history of all time. Just imagine the opening of the most watched event in history. That's the level we're talking about. Mexico had the chance to host a massive event. This is the moment when the most people will be watching something about Mexico in the entire history of the country. Up until now. It's the biggest platform Mexico has ever had in its entire history. And just look at how they're wasting it. Look, I know Mexico had the 1970 World Cup, the 1968 Olympic Games, the 1986 World Cup, but those were different times. We weren't as hyper-connected as we are now. So yes, this will be the biggest moment for Mexico. Now here they tell us it would become the most watched opening event in history, surpassing the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games and pushing them to second place. Wow! I think that says it all. Missed opportunity. And what is Mexico going to deliver? Well, just take a look, guys. Look at this. I mean, unfinished construction. Just look at this. This is Mexico City right now. Just look at the chaos. There's only 1 week left until the World Cup, guys. There's hardly any time left. These are just some tarps here, all ugly by the way. Unbelievable. Check out the area around Estadio Azteca. I think this is a subway or something like that. An Allende station they're going to build. Okay. This looks like it'll be nice, but it's not finished yet. What's going on? They had 8 years. 8 years. Yes, it's been 8 years since it was known that Mexico would host the World Cup and nothing was done. Just look at this disaster. Guys, what a shame. Seriously. What a total shame. Well, here's what they're telling us. How's it going?
Airport 1 week before the World Cup. Today is June 4th. We're exactly 1 week away.
June 4th.
7 days before the World Cup starts, I'm going to show you what kind of mess there is at the airport, or whether there even is one, but there is a mess. To begin with, the mess starts as soon as you arrive because they're just now paving the ramp to go up to the upper part, right? Of course, you can't go up to go down, but if you look at it the other way, it is a descent. Anyway, the point is they're paving there, so there's a lot of traffic at 5:30 in the morning. I mean, well, it's already 6 now, but I spent like 40 extra minutes there. I saw people who had to walk across the bridge. How embarrassing. Just to be able to get there, that's where the mess starts. Those benches over there are new. They managed to put in some benches. Let's see.
The airport is patched up. Actually, it has to be said this airport is old and obsolete. Mexico was going to have a world-class airport, one of the top 10 airports in the world, and they cancelled it on a whim. A wasted opportunity.
Pretty. That wood finish over there is also new, and I have to admit that this area here turned out quite nice.
Yes, but it's just a band-aid since the airport is outdated. It's overcrowded and running at full capacity.
It's much better than it was before. Also, there's a vending machine for World Cup stickers. A giant trophy. I mean, not that giant, right? I mean, it's pretty big, isn't it? But it's not mega giant, you know what I mean? To get through the security checkpoint, they put in those machines that scan your boarding pass and passport automatically. I guess it's an attempt to speed things up. But even though those machines have been used elsewhere, the ones here have something about them. They take forever.
Just look at that. Incredible.
The boarding pass, then you put in your passport. It takes a few minutes, almost a minute, just to scan the passport.
And almost a minute to scan the passport. Those machines are terrible. This is the last straw.
Which doesn't sound like much, but when you have so many people waiting behind you, well, the line starts to build up, you know, so it's not that efficient. It was faster when a person checked it for you, but maybe with some software. As for the baggage screening part, honestly, that was quick. If you have to take out your electronics, there are places where you don't have to take them out anymore. If it's one of those machines where you have to stand like a plastic wrestler to get checked. We came to Starbucks for a coffee, guys, and we couldn't order coffee because it turns out there's no water in the whole airport. I mean, I'm just now finding out that they use tap water to make the coffee. I mean, I did ask and they told me they use filtered water. So is there no tap water or what? I mean, do they use tap water for the coffee? The truth is we don't use tap water. We use filtered water. Is that only for today? No. Yes, today. It started early this morning. But yeah, there's no water in the whole airport, not in any establishment. So you can't order anything that needs water to be prepared. I imagine there's no water in the bathroom either. Hey, but we have a mural of a Zoloid Squintly, guys. They gave the lounges what I would call a quick touch-up. I mean, they do look a little better, but they're still the same lounges, the same floor. We have these new benches that are kind of decorated, also with that same wood detail I showed you before, and then there are these which have always been here. We also have these small, more private lounges, like for 2 people right here.
They improved the airport a little bit, but it's still the same. The conditions...
There's a lady over there who's really comfortable. She even took off her shoes. They have outlets to charge your devices, USB, USB-C, and the regular plug. Honestly, it's not that bad. I mean, they're not super comfortable, but they're not terrible either.
I mean, amazing, guys. That's Mexico. And just look, the moon.
Top. They're 720 dpi top. Not even high resolution or anything. Just 720 dpi.
Just look at the tarp that's going to be at the Estadio Azteca. On the outside, just to be clear, on the inside, I actually like how it turned out. But on the outside, guys, look at this white part here. Oh my God.
It's not even that well stretched there. I hope they did the hemming properly. Here is the FIFA World Cup logo, and then the one for Mexico City. A typical banner from Algarin neighborhood. They can't fool me.
Unbelievable, guys. This is a disgrace. But that's not all, because I want to show you the following. Please, brace yourselves for this. Here they're saying they should have asked the axolotls for help. Okay, this happened in Mexico City. It can't be. When I tell you that it's falling apart, I'm not lying. And to top it off, it's also sinking. Look at this, guys. This place will be a World Cup venue in less than a week. Let me remind you, this will be the event, the most watched opening of all time. But anyway, what do you think about this chaos? So gentlemen, see you next time.